Okay. You got to pick some bands.
Yeah, so let's talk about Track YerAnd. um, as we all know, WarningTrack is WarningTrack. He beat Slappy Davis 7-4 in week one as a heavy favorite. YerAnd was also the heavy favorite against Falcon Hit in week one and also won 7-4. So this
I
match
do want to
is.
correct you on one thing. There's no heavy favorites in Diamond. You can be a soft favorite, but they won the games that they were favorited in. But there's without Kaylee, nobody has a right to be a heavy favorite in this division anymore.
I feel like you're just trying to soft talk your opponents into.
I'm trying to set up it so when I beat all three of them in what is now Sunday, 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 uh, it's more modest looking.
Well, first of all, you're insane for doing that. But with that aside, this could potentially be an early preview of the Diamond Division Championships, as both Track and YerAnd should be in the upper half of the division.
I'm gonna correct you
Certain
again.
other
It's
players.
the second versus third place match, but sure. Both those players are favored to get into the playoffs, though. Definitely, if you're doing predictions and they're not in your top three, you're rating someone who's not me, year end, or track in your top three, and they definitely are the favorites in this division. I'm
All
gonna be
right.
really
Well,
difficult to post that, by the way. These guys are fun to watch, and I'm gonna be very critical.
that sounds great. So I'm going to stop trying to lecture you on how the dynamics of Diamond look, and let's just go into the picks and bans.
Cool, let's do it. Did your end
Yay!
get his veranda band?
Well, so we'll run through them real quick. YerAnd banned Ballroom, Track banned Modern, YerAnd restricted Tan, and Track restricted Aquarium. Then YerAnd doubled Gallery, Track doubled Balcony. YerAnd singled Aquarium, Track singled Tayan, picking each other's restricts.
So YerAnd has been an absolute veranda fiend for years, and honestly, I think it might have been a situation where when veranda wasn't banned, YerAnd is going, "Oh no, he has plans for veranda," and opted out of it. He's always disliked ballroom, and Track has always really liked balcony. It's balcony's a weird map where Track's preparation, which is one of his finest feats, really comes into play because there's just not much on balcony other than your opponent, and 7 people. Uh, it
Yeah.
doesn't give
All
the
right.
opponent much opportunity. So I pick some bands don't surprise me, other than Veranda not being picked by your end.
All right. Well, yeah, we're starting off with Gallery. You want to count us in?
Sure. In three, two, one, playing it.
Yeah,
Uran's
sweet.
gallery is really good. He is willing to play the spy fast enough to not just lose to time pressure. Because that's the real problem on Gallery is half the games on Gallery end with someone doing a purloin in the last 30 seconds in the back conversation and getting shot. And Erend does have the potential to avoid that. The problem with Gallery is even when you do try and play your fastest and play with a good pace, your cast can screw you out of wins anyways. That's a nice bug attempt. We didn't have much cover for it, but the stop, and we did get the nice wrong arm. It doesn't stick, and it doesn't look like we've eaten a bullet for it. At least Track will usually save his highlights for inspects.
Yeah, and we do a nice little briefcase redirect here either as well. Excuse me. I mean, I don't know if that's the type of thing that will get somebody credited with less suspicion up here in Diamond, but it looked really nice at any rate. The timing was crisp and spot on.
Year end, probably more than anybody, though I think I'm also probably on the list. That's a nice bug. Ambassador stops for it too, which is absolutely insane. It's hard to say if Track really is crediting that because Track's laser doesn't really tell that sort of thing. Um, but as I was saying, year end will do more etiquette stuff than anybody, and he doesn't really care who his opponent is. He just likes doing good etiquette. Uh, it does have a lot of benefit. It just makes you look more spy-like on like an intuition base, even if you're not getting a low light for it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Time is ticking down here. We have the bug in pocket, which is great. We have no flirts done. We don't have. We just turn around and go for. Screw it.
So
Why not?
it's correct. So the reason why he did that turnaround is because Wheels had just picked up the briefcase. Uh, but the problem with that turnaround and the problem with the correct stop at the door earlier is it means that we haven't been able to go outside and visit our seduction target. And now we're doing our first flirt with 2 minutes left, or less than 2 minutes left.
Yeah,
And
and we
we don't
don't
hit the
green it
green.
either. Yep.
Mm.
This is
Mm,
actually
mm, mm.
might be problematic. You were talking about YerAnd's pacing, and as of right now, the double agent can't join our conversation either. He's locked out.
So, welcome to YerAnd trying to do etiquette too well, and our cast not being nice. This is a classic. This is something I need to stop doing on Gallery because I do it every game. Is just the go to that particular window and reset your flirt. You're really hoping that your opponent's just generally, yeah, if you're gonna do it again, YerAnd, goodness, that your opponent is generally zoomed in, because if they're not, this is the most suspicious flirt in the game as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. It doesn't look like there's a problem here, though. I mean, our head is visible on Track's camera, but he's not paying any attention to us, and we get our flirt done finally. So we forced out 3 flirts in a very short amount of time, but we still have a lot of time pressures here. We're down to 45 seconds. We need 2 more missions done. We still have the ability to take a banana bread, but we're also not having our double agent cooperate. We're going to have to chase him back out here and then figure out something else. We're taking a green purloin instead. That's really going to help. And
Ugh.
now we're actually going to have time to finish real quick, assuming we can squeeze ourselves into this conference. No, we can't.
YerAnd is gonna force it anyways. We're gonna stand here and hope that someone leaves. If nobody leaves, I bet you would go in there anyways. YerAnd did do a nice purloin and leave, but he didn't really leave as quickly as he
Banana
possibly
bread.
could, and did eat a highlight for it. Now the banana bread comes off right as the list is taken, but it's not enough. Track is on it. I think Track has probably also seen that YerAnd does really like the green purloin walkaways, and it wasn't executed as quickly as it could have been. If you execute it really quickly, it looks like you just walked away without Toby ever like rejecting. You just and it's a walk away instead of a reject. Good
Yeah.
shot by Track
Wow,
though.
that was yeah, that
It
was
was
a wild
really
finish.
our only way of winning was going to be BB and Purloin. Uh, I mean, our next best option was like swap or like a really late microfilm, and Track just taking away our win conditions means Track wins the game.
Yeah. So very nice win by Track, putting him up 1-0 here, going into his spy side.
Okay, and we got us facing up against Damon. Look, we're about to get in a fight in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep. What are your thoughts on Gallery in general? I know it's pretty divisive. I think it's one of the two most banned gallery, or one of the two most banned venues in SCL thus far, behind Redwoods. So clearly, there's controversial.
So, my opinion of Gallery, it's a similar opinion I have to Modern. I think Modern's just sideways Gallery when you play it in 4 of 8. I think it's incredibly skill testing. I think the better player wins on Gallery more often than not, because the sniper has everything to see, but they have so much to watch, and the spy has to do so much through. They can't just like get lucky. The sniper's gonna be able to see them if they do something bad, and the spy also has to worry about pacing. Or you don't have to worry about pacing because you just green time ads. It's fine. Uh, but it's that sort of situation where just if you do a mistake, it should be seen. The only exception is sometimes you get away with absolute nonsense in the front conversation. People really struggle to get into this conversation sometimes because it just fills up really quickly. But
That's true.
otherwise,
I feel like there's also a lot of potential though for like sneaky good bugs.
depends. So there are some really good bugs, but like a lot of them are just incredibly meta. Like if you're trying to bug the ambassador as he's coming along the paintings and you do like a reverse drive-by, it's not a bad bug. It's hard to see, but because they are so popular, it's really hard to get those. If you're doing like a really good unexpected bug on gallery, you're having to set it up. You're having to put yourself in a position where you can start the path and then take an angle where the hand cannot be seen. And that takes a lot of thought and a lot of process, and that's really hard to do unless you're playing really well.
That certainly makes sense. I mean, I've just been abused with like crazy wrong arm bugs and things on this venue enough that I'm very wary of those.
Yeah, and if you can get with it, obviously, that neither of these players have picked small men yet. Both these players are pretty respectful. Ooh, we take the flirt. We don't take the bug. It like this sort of bug, right? This is like the worst bug in the world because it's just right in front of the camera, and you're not facing at the right angle at all. Like you're just going to be sticking your arm out and waving at the camera. Um, Often on other maps, that sort of bug, absolutely fantastic, just because there's pillars in the way on ballroom or
Banana
trees
bread.
or sharks or whatever.
That actually wasn't terrible because we had a lot of cover from Toby there, looking at it from the sniper point of view. But in any case, yeah, we don't take it. We pick up the banana bread instead and let off a fair number of low lights, which is fairly standard for gallery. And now we're just trying to figure out what we're doing next. We have the two obvious soft tells done, but I don't really know what Track has planned here. I mean, Track always has a plan, but it doesn't seem like anything obvious is jumping out at me here, at least.
Yeah, so track has two problems when it comes to YerAnd. We're going to see this a lot. YerAnd is really good at not shooting civilians, and he's also really good at getting a handful of lowlights. Some of these lowlights are just for the banana bread, though the banana bread was actually really good. The party's just kind of being uh, whittled down, and if we're doing two hardtails, which, unless we're going to statues here now or finding a magical print, is likely the case, I just can't see how Trex can do that. And I don't see which civilian's going to get shot unless maybe we purloin right now after Smallman. It looks like Track might have seen the opportunity too. Here
Yeah,
it
and we
comes.
yep, we
Oof.
green test it. So there's gonna be a bit of a chain here.
We're considering just getting eyes on the ambassadors if a bug's possible. We do not take it. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing in this conversation though, other than just kind of hiding behind Disney a bit.
Okay, but hear me out. We should have purloined for Stallman and then swap for him.
That's very aggressive. Is this a bug? That's a bug,
That's a
and
bug.
that's a
Right on
shot.
camera. Yeah. Yeah.
So the purling hasn't even come off yet, by the way, and that's really the hope for Trek is that as he looks away from the list, that the purloin happens, and then we get in with that window. But the purloin just hasn't gone off yet, and I'm not sure who was necessarily going to be the top suspect if we do see the fate on the purloin. I have a suspicion it might have been us, anyways. So good shot by YerAnd, and just a bit bad luck there from Track. He just didn't really seem to have the opportunities there, like just not very many fingerprints, for example, in that set. Or sorry, that game.
Yep. No, that makes sense. I mean, it feels like a waste to say well played game at this point because I expect that most of the games we're going to see in this set are going to be well played. But nonetheless, it looked like a really well played game, and you could really see the thought processes from both players there.
Yeah, I think Track was also potentially going for a wrong arm bug there, because that bug was not as pretty as it could have been. YerAnd here as orange dress, and we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So yeah, so as we mentioned, Orange Dress, as I think most people watching this probably know at this point, is the second slowest character in the cast, and on Gallery, which is deceptively large, that can really be an issue with pacing.
Yeah, we've added a bit more time to gallery over the years. I'm not sure if it was particularly this season or maybe last, which really hasn't helped pacing. The problem with adding more time is spies just look at the clock and then get more comfortable over time. Uh, we could get a nice wrong arm here if the ambassador decides to go behind us. He does not.
Yeah, that's too
It-
bad. That would have been really well covered as well. But no, the ambassador just walks away, but he's leaving a print at
Banana
least, and
bread.
prints are always good. Instead, we're banana breading, knocking out a few suspects, including Small Man.
yeah, one of the nice things about this banana bread is nobody's at statues. You're not like immediately giving someone who you want to keep around as an alibi. Uh, you do lose all the book people, so anything that you do with the microfilm in the future seems a bit more suspicious, more likely to be remembered. Ambassador comes behind us, but he's going for the bookcase, and it wouldn't have worked as a bug anyways, and we've lost a bit of our partner cover that we had. We're not like sticking the arm into red dress like we would have been earlier.
Yep, we're walking away. As the ambassador comes by, there's maybe a chance that he could pass us. We could do something goofy with him covering us, but no, we just go into statues here. We're gonna take that fingerprint instead. It's a
It's a
difficult one. We
difficult.
miss it. Yep, we miss it, and we're just gonna pick up the inspects instead.
Yeah, so when you lose an early difficult like this, it also makes just fingerprints just a bit more unadvisable because we do two fingerprints now, we can be counted for three of them. That bug's seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
With that bug, I'm not sure if there's a way to make that be a wrong arm. It's just kind of hoping that it's just unexpected, and you do see people get away with them on gallery, but it's just it's track. We're in diamond. You can't get away with that stuff.
yeah. I mean, we've seen something like that. I think in the Human Kirby versus Psychosloth set from week 1, which I believe was streamed. We saw something like that.
Okay, we got Track as Alice here at the back of the party, and if we wanted to, we could just go stand where Damon was, or would be, but we won't. In three, two, one, playing it.
I mean, Damon and Alice look basically identical, so
Yeah, like I think it's the tier list for looks like Damon would be Alice, then Disney, then Damon, then all of the old art, then orange dress from the old art, and then Mom, and then everybody else. I think Wheels is last. I don't think I could imagine Damon in a wheelchair, even though anybody can sit in a chair.
that's deep. Um, but in any case, as exciting as discussing this is, there's a game happening,
Yeah,
and we're just gonna
we
go
have
pick up a
inspects and a highlight,
flirt,
so
uh, and we get bailed
YerAnd
on.
will take those lowlights. If he doesn't lowlight Smallman and Duke right now, I don't know this YerAnd. No, he doesn't. That's weird. YerAnd must have been watching Berlin or something, because those were good bounces.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. We're picking up a green flirt though. That's nice. We like green flirts.
Yeah, 51%. We've seen it a lot in the last set, though. You have to hit both of them for it to be really valuable. It does unlock you a
Banana
lot when you
bread.
get two quick flirts, do things like rush, without having to just do four hardtails. Doing a really quick flirt means you can finish the game before 2 minutes end. This will reset our flirt if that's what we're looking for. We've seen a lot of people in this situation do timer flirts, and I think Trek is doing the right decision. He's not actually deciding to do the flirt, though. We're going to be finishing up our inspects. If we
Yeah,
green swap and flirt, this game's over really quickly, by the way.
this felt like a really Route 1 game though so far. Just picking up seduce, flirt. Wow, those are the same thing. Excuse me, banana bread, flirt, and inspects. Uh, and it gotta feel like we're a pretty big suspect just by the sheer amount of threat that we have with nearly 3 missions done.
Yeah, there's two highlights, only 8 people left in the party, which on gallery is insanely uh, a lot of lowlights. Usually you get like 4 or 5 from the banana bread, but Urine's added a few in extra, which is not unexpected. And we are in a Purloin spot. This is really the only mission that we're going to be getting done here, unless Ambassador goes for a long walk right past us. Problem
Yeah, I
with the
mean,
Purloin is just this whole conversation is just full of lowlights. If we do a Purloin, we're going to stick out, even if it's a green.
at this
Ambassador
point,
Ambassador decides to turn into the one spot in conversation. With that path line, you almost have to assume that anything else that he's doing is going to go by us, but he finds that spot somehow.
yeah, and we're down to a minute left here. We still have half our flirt left to do, which isn't a given, uh, and one more mission. This is not looking great. We should stop in this path, hoping that the seduction target will stop with us, but no, he just goes right back to bookshelves, or just to another window pad instead. Excuse me. And we're not going to him instead. We're going to swap.
And we did it with a weird path too. It really looks like we're trying to frame the swap. Urine laser is rotated over to keep an eye on the actual swap animation. Yeah, he catches the very last glimpse of that. Track actually almost timed that really well. The problem is, I think if Track times it even later than he did, and makes it so he's hidden behind his body, he probably gets shot for being too clever. And really doesn't really have any other recourse. If he doesn't take the swap here, like what's his last mission? Flirt and then desperation bug. If we run across the map, we might be able to get microfilm in, but we're gonna get shot for that too. Like you don't really have much option. We have to take that swap despite the fact it's clearly being watched with that laser angle.
Yeah. Well, well played by the snipers there. That was pretty suffocating. It felt like on both sides, and I think it's 2-2, right?
Yeah, it's just all snipers so far. Balcony's less likely to be that. Balcony pretty 50-50 no matter what skill level we're talking about, and this is going to be some high level balcony. I don't recall Urine playing balcony in anything I've watched before, so we'll see what he's up to as Red Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and balcony is basically the polar opposite of gallery. We go from one of the larger venues with so much time pressure to the smallest one, with 3 missions available and a lot of behavioral shenanigans.
Do we just need a highlight?
We
Yeah,
did.
we're highlit, and we haven't done anything, and that's not fair. Other than stuff ourselves into a conversation and then not talk. Um, Track's played a lot of balcony. This is well known to anybody who's done the dailies, where it's not often his spy, it's often drawn onward spy. He plays balcony every week, and probably has a couple extra tips and tricks for things that YerAnd likes to do. Just knowing Track and his propensity for preparation.
Yep. Yeah, we haven't even gotten a flirt in yet, and we're already a highlight. We're picking
Oof,
up the banana
Irish.
bread because everybody's
Banana
in.
bread.
Yeah.
That looks like a BB bug or a bug BB if I've ever seen one. But if you're not shooting right now, then you don't believe in it. And it looks like
Nope.
Irish is actually taking a neutral light.
Banana bread.
Yeah. Track.
Second
Oh, there's
banana
another
bread.
banana bread.
Why? Why?
Do you think that was an action priority?
Um, yeah, because I can't justify it otherwise. It's our turn to talk again. So we've actually talked like 3 times in a row at this point. Um,
Yeah.
and we're gonna
Track's
get
having
shot
none of it.
for it.
Track just shoots.
I'm wondering, maybe do we have like a quick window early? Like, why is Track so mad at us early? Like, we go to window at 156 and leave
Yeah.
at
Let's see the replay
150.
here.
Yeah, it's short, but it's not like criminally short. And Track is just having none of it. The past also fine. Like, people walk through Toby's tray all the time. I'm not sure how we got so suspicious so quickly, and it scares me.
Sometimes track just soul reads you. It happens.
I don't like Track's soul reads. Soul reads are for behaviorists, and he is not one of those. We now have Track playing the worst bugging character in the game, not named Wheels, on a map with Bug, as one of only 3 options. So good luck, Track, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I mean, clearly what Track's actually doing is it's a Smallman gambit. You put Smallman in the game along with a bunch of tall people. And he's also doing all men, because all the men are generally bigger and wider than the ladies in this game. Should we? Oh God, what happened here? There's already already low lights. Urine just doesn't care about half the party already.
But we're not high lit, so that's something. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess while we have a second to breathe, what are your thoughts on Bug versus Purloin?
So I play Purloin sometimes, and the reason, like, there's 3 reasons, and this will take up the whole rest of this game if we're not careful. One is, what can you do when you're
Banana
desperate?
bread.
If you're trying to end the game at the last 10 seconds, they're both terrible, but I think like Purloin's potentially better. Um, if you like, what's the best opportunity? Like, really good bugs are really good, but so are really good Purloins. You just get a long chain. The main reason Purloin's kind of junk is you have to hit the green like a significant portion of the time, and most people can't pull off a green more than 50% of the time, and definitely can't pull off a green Purloin on balcony, where it's literally, if you hit this, you potentially win the game. If you don't hit this, you immediately lose, because especially at diamond, they're gonna see the fade.
Just pointing out, by the way, that Kane has now gone down to a neutral light, and it's just us and Small Man as the remaining highlights. And we're not getting much done here. we need a close green flirt at this point to finish, and it feels like if we talk again, then we might be in serious trouble here. So we're kind of relying on Small Man to
We
do something
wouldn't
to
be
get
talking.
shot.
We'd be
But
going outside to get the flirt. Kane needs to move now, and we're just not going to get it. We have to actually bug if we want to finish. Oh, we could have done the flirt maybe, but the bug. Oof. When did Kane get into conversation? It was so late. Yeah, Kane hits conversation at like 1.8. We could have actually gone for it, but it also would have had to have been a green test. I don't hate the decision to bug, but it's going to get a shot 90, 95, 99% of the time. You just can't not shoot that bug.
yeah, so that was a desperation action that we were just talking about. So that worked out well. Well done.
Yep. And welcome to balcony. YerAnd running it back with big hands, which is my pet name for Disney because his hands are so big and so bad at bugging. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bug, bug, bug. We didn't bug, and probably would have died for it anyways because Disney has big hands.
Yep. Instead, we're standing here next to our seduction target, who talks immediately and gets highlight. Probably paired with us, to be honest. And we're gonna get the highlight as well for talking at about the right time for a talk.
Yeah, so
Uh,
the first talk is really interesting on balcony because if you're like the second person conversation, so it's just you and one other person, and you are the first talker, a chance that that's actually like a good flirt, that you have the presence of mind plus the that happens to be your seduction target is actually quite unlikely. So it's something that you kind of just want to low light, but then you also just see Spy's AI control for 2 seconds and now they're talking. So it's also really risky. I find the whole thing very interesting for just the first flirt or first talk even.
yep. So there's our second flirt. And there's nobody really close to us in conversation, so we're definitely not being credited with a two flirt
Ooh,
game. That
that was a
was
really good bug.
that was maybe clean.
And we're neutral lit. Um,
Okay.
the concern here for YerAnd is can you finish without doing the banana bread and not just get yourself in real trouble because the banana bread isn't happening? Like for example, if anybody in the conversation right now was the spy, they'd be like, okay, I want to wait till YerAnd's back in the conversation, but YerAnd's never gonna go back in the conversation. That's a white test. We're eating a highlight for it. We're probably gonna have to go to Windows and then go into conversation and talk late, which is really ugly. But the no banana bread's really concerning right now, and Trek has to know that someone's gotten a bug by him because just why has no banana bread happened?
Yep. And we're gonna have to walk in here and talk immediately. There's gonna be overtime, and this looks
Banana
ugly.
bread.
This looks really ugly. There's a fake banana bread as well. Here comes the overtime beeps. Yeah, and we're getting shot.
So it hides the flirt, which is nice, but the problem is we hit a bunch of white tests in the flirt anyways. Like this was our third or fourth flirt. I think no banana bread also makes more sense, honestly, which is really weird to have a no banana bread game on balcony. It's just this is an absolute curveball thrown at Track, and the banana bread at the end makes his decision a bit easier, honestly.
I mean, I think we're dying there either way. Like
Yeah,
track is on
we're
top of the walk away and then immediate talk on entry. But
I wonder if we just don't fit the window flirt and we just take the banana bread is actually the higher percentage play. Um, because the bug was scot-free.
yeah, that feels like that might be right. But it's easy to say in hindsight, of course, versus trying to get the silent game through on balcony, which is probably the rarest of the combinations of winning mission wins, right?
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just not saying banana bread ever and just really stressing the sniper out. I don't think it's a high percentage play, but I do like the thought now that it's been put into my mind. We got warning track here as rocker, more bug. Like we're ever gonna see anything different from these guys in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So the rest of Diamond, opponent has that thought in his mind now. Enjoy that. And yeah,
Uh, Nobody's dumb enough to pick balcony against me, except for literally the last time I played, plus everybody. Um, we are gonna just get in next to our selection target and take the most obvious route of actually try and win the game. instead of do something weird. And I wonder when we're going to talk, because if it's literally interrupting our seduction target right as they're about to finish their talk, that looks really suspicious to me.
Yeah, but it's a green at least, so that's something. We almost had a full conversation, but Boots bails on us. And time is, again, ticking down. The green test helps a lot if we can finish our 2-flirt, but now the seduction target bails as well.
Yeah, I mean, Track's dream here would just be get the 3 green game. No matter
Yep,
where
there's
the seduction target
space
goes, as
next to
long
us.
as they
Yeah.
come into the conversation, it will be 50, or, well, 49 at least.
Yep, the
Yeah,
double agent bails.
are we going to just see a 3 green game? Is it going to be the most boring, and therefore the most exciting game of balcony? We got 2
That's
of
2.
them.
Yep.
Now,
Now,
if Track had real gonads, he would do sit BB. He won't, because he doesn't, but he should do it. Go
are
for
we
the
just banana
smoke.
bread with mom out?
Banana bread.
Yeah,
We
we're
just
doing
3
it.
green.
There's the
It's
green
fine.
test. Yep. Yeah, we're good.
Shoot him anyways. Do it. Punish him for his greens.
Ah, boring.
Nah, it never happens. Yeah, we just 3 greened, and our seduction target came to us in the second one, and Smallman was talking during the banana bread. So everything's awful, and Trek wins balcony, and this is why I'm banning against him. And let's move on to the next game.
Yeah. So Track actually goes 3-1 on his own pick of balcony and goes up 5-3 going into Aquarium, which is actually kind of a big deal, especially in Diamond where everything is sniper sided and nothing matters.
Yeah, it's kind of brave for YerAnd not to ban balcony, just because as far as I'm concerned at least, I knew Track would pick it if left open. So either he just isn't doing enough research or had some balcony strats, but we didn't really see anything like overly clever there from YerAnd other than just a no BB game, which felt more like accidental than anything. Here we go with YerAnd on Aquarium as Taft, which means we can do some weird body block stuff at the back in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these two play Aquarium differently from our gold match earlier. I mean, I know they're both high level players, or both matches, excuse me, had high level players, but I expect that this will look a little bit different.
Yeah, so what you're gonna see from this set that I think you'll saw less in Cameraman Turnout is you're gonna see the spy looking towards the shark a lot. YerAnd is getting kind of renowned for his shark plays, particularly related to books and microfilms. While Track, I'm not sure has that much history on Aquarium, but I've played a lot of Aquarium with him back in the day, and I thought his decision making was really good here. I'm not surprised that one of them picked it. I think Track is going to be happy that YerAnd picked it for him. It's a map that I don't think he's unhappy to play in any sense.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the last set as well. Like a lot of players are very comfortable on Aquarium right now, so I think it's going to be a very common sort of generic comfort pick moving forward, kind of like how Courtyard used to be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see why we're here, because I feel like YerAnd probably has a trick up his sleeve. Uh, if he's picking Aquarium as a single, especially. And Taft is an interesting choice. It kind of implies that we're going to be doing something at the back of the party using his big frame.
Yeah, I mean Taff is also the fastest
Or
character as well, which lets you move. Oh, well,
we're wearing brown, and brown fades in with this wall, and we can do time ends. We're sneaking in an inspect potentially, or even a swap. That's nothing. We didn't
what
actually swap it.
just happened? Okay.
We picked it up like we were trying to do a really quick swap and run away. Instead, we're doing a really quick delegate and run away, kind of behind the shark. But nothing was actually gained from that statue pickup. Like, I've never seen someone bail out of that, honestly. I didn't know you could put it down that quickly.
Maybe, yeah, there had to have been a plan in mind there, so maybe he just couldn't get the action off quickly enough, the right click.
Yeah, it was. If it's to do an inspect like takes time, even if you hit the green test. I'm not sure.
Banana bread.
Weird stuff from YerAnd, and it hasn't paid off. Like, we're not dead,
It's
but
a delegate,
we didn't
guys.
get a
It's a
mission.
delegate.
But then, so we're trying to look like we're at the statues, and then
Yeah.
and then go back to the statues.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but then why didn't we go back to the statue or something?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it worked.
Hey, it worked. Good job, Laser.
Hey, all right.
Can you go pull up the replay on this? And we'll take a moment. I want to.
Yeah.
It's at 2:20. So he picks it up and he's on the sniper side. It's actually a bit early, honestly, but. And then by the time he's walking away, okay, so yeah, he has to walk away because he can't go back to the statue and reasonably still be there by the time the shark goes away. Top shark's just a bit too quick, but yeah, it's just a delegate cheese. That's cute.
I mean, it was visible on camera if you were paying attention. But yeah, I mean, why would you be paying attention to Taft just going to statues innocently?
Yeah, and also, why is YerAnd not highlight for what was his second inspect? Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you're highlight for that, I think it's a lot worse, right? Because you can see
and you
the
should be.
outline to bar. Yeah.
You already have the inspects like that were not already highlight for the inspects because Trek's doing the bar lights. Might be something that YerAnd knows. He might just know that Trek likes to do bar lights on Aquarium, and that's why this play works. It's just I I think the play's fine. I think Trek missing it is something that he definitely could have caught this. Especially since he rotated to the left. Like, you don't have much left right on Aquarium, but he did go all the way left and was able to see that Taft wasn't walking away from the statue or anything. It looked weird.
Yeah,
That being
but
said,
yeah,
Track's on
it
Mom.
worked.
Yeah, it worked. And now if Track fails to get this win, we're back to a tie. He's playing Mom here on Aquarium in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah,
We're AI controlling.
I mean,
Nope. Okay.
and Selection Target comes to us. As we start talking too early, so we stop and then start again for the seduce. But Shark's
Yeah,
covering us, so it's all good.
it's all Shark. We got 2 early inspects, which is kind of nice. As you're the spy, you can look around and just go, haha, look at people I can give the purloin to in the future, and they might die. Smallman's also highlight, which is reasonable because he is Smallman.
Yep, as
Even
is
more
tradition.
reasonable, even more reasonable on Aquarium. If any shark shenanigans happen on Aquarium, Smallman's a bit easier to achieve them with. We've seen Wheels be also popular on Aquarium for that same reason, just the low profile.
Yep, certainly true. We're taking this pretty slow though. I don't know if Track has been prepping Aquarium like I know some people have, like YerAnd, for example, clearly. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Track decides to approach this. If he just decides to go with pretty vanilla plays, or if he has something special up his sleeve.
I think this is the first timer flirt we've seen. These guys have been generally refusing to do timer flirts, and I do like that. Neither of them are like renowned flirt catchers or anything, so you can move around. But Track just has nothing better to do. Now we're going to start off with the briefcase here with the knowledge there's a few prints somewhere at least the green bookcase. It doesn't look like Ambassador actually took a drink, unfortunately.
Nope, probably not. So, and he's going to be leaving a print here on the books now, which means we can go back and pick it up later. In the meantime, though, we have our selection target Taft, who is picking up a drink. We're not going to pick up the flirt, though. We're going to the opposite side and presumably to pick up a delegate.
Yeah, these cross map paths against YerAnd are always fairly risky. YerAnd's just going to have better knowledge of what the correct path is than you. Uh, but it looks like your Track has just generally seemed to have pretty solid pathing most of this game, if not all this game, or most of the set, if not all the set.
Yeah, we just saw Alice get low lit for a nice path there as well. There's
Banana
a white
bread.
banana, a fake BB, but we have the SDA in conversations. It doesn't work out the way we may have intended it. A lot of people in conversation in general, though, so that works out pretty well, giving a lot of potential suspects a possible mission completion.
Yeah, given that we don't actually have any completion with 90 seconds left, this is gonna really look like it's us
Banana bread.
as the person because we've changed conversation on the second banana bread. The other thing that you'd want to generally be concerned about when you hear 2 banana breads is was there like a banana bread bug or maybe a banana bread delegate? You can confirm that there's no delegate, nobody's been to the bar. Otherwise, it's probably the guy who just moved conversation or just had a double agent walk into their conversation.
We did try to delegate, but it did expire as we sent the DA himself to go do it. So we're just going to bar ourselves to pick up another drink. I don't know if we're planning to do a direct here or if this is another delegate we have planned, but we're running out of time. I mean, we're okay because we only need one more print. We need this purloin to fire off and one more flirt, which is all easily doable, but we are coming down to it.
Irish looks like a good target. She's already highlit. She's in the conversation that we need to be in for the flirt. We do not get the flirt off. We do not get the fingerprint off. Track's game plan has just collapsed. We haven't done the delegate yet, and there it goes. Definitely with the other person leaving, it's going to be Irish. Seduction target is as far away as possible. We might need a time ad or get some absolute fortune here from the party. If seduction target goes in next to the ambassador or comes in next to us, maybe we have a chance. We're not even moving. It's just hoping that Irish gets shot for the purloin. YerAnd's been quite patient, but oh, okay. Or we just get shot. That works too.
Hey, all right. Well, Yarn was completely on top of that, even though Irish was a highlight and we were not. So yeah, Yarn
Um,
picks up both games on the Aquarium.
with the mission count too, you have to realize that if we had hit the green fingerprint, we would have actually had fingerprint done. And if we'd hit more green flirts, we would have had the flirt done. So this shot is completely justified from the sniper's perspective.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Yarn brings it back now, and we're actually heading into Tan, tied 5-5 here. Both marbles are in play, and Tan of all maps is the one that we're going to decide them both on.
And we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Tan's a different monster than it was in Season 5, so if you're looking at stats like Track often is, it's kind of different, just with 2 less people. A lot of the problems that people had with Tan just over cover, and just bugs feeling absolutely free. Bugs don't feel absolutely free anymore. You can still get really good bugs, like Irish could have bugged there, for example, but you can generally see a lot more of what's going on unless you're talking about Smallman.
Of course, and note that Smallman, we didn't pick him as the seduction target, but he is not an SDA, so Smallman is in play here.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really unfortunate just to get into a really close game and then just watch Smallman go to mid statues and lose the set. It's the sort of thing that will definitely happen to people. Okay, YerAnd, are we doing YerAnd's first timer flirt? This will be a good spot to do it. When you get the 51 early and there's nothing better to be doing, just taking the timer flirt makes sense. These conversations are incredibly full. If Irish just comes in, everybody's in conversation, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like it, but we're not fake BBing.
Yeah, so the problem is if we move to the other conversation and then do the banana bread, we look really suspicious.
Banana bread.
Taking the
There
fake
it goes.
here
Okay. Yep.
makes sense. I think pearls actually should be considered a splitter. Though splitting in this spot, I'm not sure it makes too much sense. It's like, what are you doing? You're all on camera. We did
You
eat a
know, as
highlight. Do you think it was potentially for bug?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we were just standing in the same conversation the whole time. It could have been a potential flirt pair, maybe. Hard to say. I couldn't tell you exactly what's going through Track's mind here.
Yeah, I mean, if Track wins this set and on the back of... Ooh, what is this? Trying to grab a briefcase to the wall? You absolute monster. Stop it. Either that or we're just got stuck on the wall and Uran's just flubbed and survived.
That's a
Here's
time
the
ad.
time ad. It caused a
Yep.
beep, if I'm not mistaken. I think we went from 1:15 to 2 minutes and it beeped, which kind of acts similar to like a red time ad. It was actually a bit more eye grabbing, or I guess ear
Banana
grabbing,
bread.
if that's a thing. Ooh, Pearls takes the shot. Uran takes a point. And we noted Pearls earlier. She was the BB splitter on the first BB. But I'm not sure what her 4 missions were. I assume that she also got credited for a bug at some point.
I had to have been, yeah. Okay.
Uh, did she mid statues or something? Lazy Bear, do you know?
no, I'm not really sure what you did.
Um,
I'll try to check.
she
But
she did grab at least one print, or at least the briefcase. So yeah, I think Track may have also been on the tunnel. Just on game 11, it's really easy for your nerves to just get to you, and That changes. Like some people just become overly afraid to shoot. Some people just want to shoot and end the game quicker, like we saw with Cameraman with that really quick shot in Aquarium. In this case, I'm thinking it was probably Pearls had some missions completed, and Track just felt too uncomfortable not to shoot for the second banana bread after she split the first one.
All right. Well, YerAnd picks up at least 1 point from this, and now Track has to spy on Taeyeon just to tie it up.
I do like Queen on Tan. She's nice and short, and she has a good bug, and that's really all you can ask for. I mean, that's also why Smallman's good, but we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Actually, Smallman's bug is
Yep.
terrible, by the way. It's just because he's small. You just won't be able to ever see it, so it doesn't matter. Ooh,
Yep,
Damon
and you can
Lowlight.
tell. Yeah, solid, solid. You can tell that this is definitely some cast selection here. These are all. Well,
Yeah, it's,
not all of them.
it's all high
We have.
suspect, and then also Disney, but Disney made it on Ballroom, so maybe these guys just really like the tall people. And that's probably actually it. Is it's just the slow characters have really
Banana
good
bread.
bugs, and then the really short characters. Along with just as many tall characters as you can get. This is a quick start with the banana bread split into mid statues. WarningTrack is guaranteeing that they're a high suspect if they didn't get the low light, and they did not. We do get the 2 cycle with a lot of good greens here. Gonna be just forcing the sniper to shoot, trying to do a path that does not get us credit for that bug, and I think we succeeded.
I think so. I think that looked pretty clear what was going on there. But Taft takes our position next to the seduction target, so we can't walk in there and do a close flirt. We can go in here and and we will. No, we're not going to. We're going back to statues.
Double mid statues. One option that we do have here, if we hit a green swap, the person who comes up behind us really looks like they're framing. It's just the other option is we're just trying to get a low light bait, or just I thought we would go in for the flirt. Honestly, it felt like maybe we could just be using the statue as a way to just be in the middle of the party near our seduction target. But Track's being a bit more patient than that.
Track's coming in and he's doing another banana
Banana bread.
bread. And this one would have been real as well. We're just fishing for a low light, right? That has to be what our plan is.
Yeah, we don't hit the big green. The big green would have helped us here. And the last mission really comes into question. Microfilm and fingerprint. If it's going to be fingerprint, it needs to be that bookcase that's just about to maybe have a print. Otherwise, something like a purloin, we're not in the right spot. If you're going to do like a really sneaky purloin, you either want to be behind one of the 2 shojis, like the other side of this conversation, or like
Yeah.
the parallel spot in the other conversation.
Or we just hope that Ambassador comes up.
Or
Whoa!
we just get shot. Was that like a no talk or something? Like, what? Like, do we even have like a drink to do a sit break or something? Like, what happened? He didn't do anything. YerAnd, go away.
Yaron, you're in chat. Walk us through this real quick.
Like, quick reject or something, and you're just done with it, and you can't see the list. Actually, that might be it. Is we do a really quick reject, and then Toby goes behind the shoji, and just doesn't want to deal with a dance or something. But like, that's still very aggressive, and Queen's slow. You can shoot her, I
are,
promise it.
are you reading chat?
No, I'm not. What's it say?
Yaron says, so I kind of hated that positioning in combo after Disney joins, and then I also may or may not have been panicking a bit and wanted to just get it over with. So also,
I,
no other
I agree
suspects
with that.
really.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying about Track's game 11 shot applies to the same logic applies here. However, YerAnd is choosing the spy to shoot. If you look at his highlights, his only 2 choices were Smallman and the spy, and sometimes it's not Smallman, weirdly enough.
That sounds fake. That sounds like some fake diamond propaganda to me.
I'm not gonna pick Smallman and Taeyeon, don't worry. So with that said, YerAnd does win this, and that puts him in the driver's seat of Diamond. I believe everybody else has a scarred record because me and Magician tied. Falcon Hit lost his week 1. Track obviously here now, and then Sloppy Davis also lost his week 1, meaning YerAnd's the only person who could, in theory, have an undefeated season, just go 10-0-0.
I mean, I don't think anybody thought that Diamond was going to have an undefeated player this season, but yeah.
Yep. I mean, he won't by Sunday, but it's fine.
Hey. All right.
Hey.